Hey, hey. Hmm. Hello, everybody. Hmm. I'm not sure here if we should or can even do the, you know, in the charger hood, there's these two indentations in the front that are pretty characteristic, but I'm kind of afraid that we are not gonna be able to reproduce them. I don't know. We could use something like this, you know. Um, but I'm not sure. This would completely destroy the structure of the hood and make all of this way too complicated. Um, Not really sure if we should commit to this or not. If you know what I mean. There's like there would be like um, a crease here, so this would be kind of submerged, and this would be on level. Let me build it. Let me build it, and we'll see. Um, just a quick mock-up, as usual. Um, since I'm curious myself if this even is gonna look semi-decent. Let's see. So it would be kind of like this, and then we would have this. Don't have to be too low. See, the problem is already visible. I would like them to be just maybe one stud lower, but then we already get an arch here. But if I use just something like this, for example, if we angle just this, what if we angle just this? You know, we can do details like this at a later time. I was just thinking. Um, anyway, um, let's let's first see what we accomplished since the last stream on Friday. So the hinges are solved. Let me show you how. Some of you may have seen the solution already on Facebook, but some of you might not. So let's recap. So the solution is very modular, of course, and the entire module can be uh, easily removed. It's very simple. and of course exactly what we need, exact geometry that we need. No gears, nothing is binding, everything is nice, straight, and I'm happy. I mean, I think we can we can probably not do better. At least not with those space constraints, you know. Um, so today's job is gonna be the lock for the hood, and if we succeed in this, we move on. Uh, Basically, I tried a version of a scuttle panel here, but it needs to be actually 3 studs wide, so it needs to go 1 stud further to the back, which it can't at the moment. And at the same time, we need to find a solution to support the steering column here, because our steering column here is actually falling apart here, because, well, it's not supported enough. And you know, if I do a few steerings, oh, come on, it's gonna pull apart here. So we need to fix that. um, Small stuff. So here in the front, we have kinda enough room, I think, to make hood lock that's similar to what we have in the doors. Um, of course, it cannot be in the center because the gears here are problematic. If we do a center lock, we have 2 problems. First, the entirety of the mechanism needs to be on this side because of our friend here. Uh, we cannot change the position of the gear because there's literally no alternative. Um, since Let me take this into my hand. Since, as you see here, or you maybe can't see, yeah, you can see here the gear. It basically cannot go to either side, left or right, because of the support structure of the headlight blind hinges. So we're pretty boxed in here. So we can only do the door hinge stuff on this side. This will make everything very asymmetric, which I don't know. Hey, Joaquin. So I don't know what we can do. Um, I would prefer, of course, if the gear would be in this corner, but it cannot. It has to be where it is. So we have pretty limited space for our mechanism. Pretty limited space. And if we do the same, I mean, we cannot do the same mechanism as we have in the front, but we can try something similar. Something similar that might even work. Okay, I have a few ideas. We're gonna try them outside of the car, of course, because it's much easier to work on the bench and then put into the car after we're sure it works. So, oh, I hope it would be great, but I don't see a way. I don't see a way. There's just no way. I mean, even the flex tube, so the flex mechanism, it can't reach to the axle here. There's no room. Everything is pretty much built in. See, there's the lights and the support. We have no structure here, and here are already the hinges for the blinds. So it's not a lot of room here. And the blinds mechanism as it is now is absolutely perfect, and I would really not want to change it. There's really no good reason to change it. I really love this. That's probably my favorite feature on the whole car. So there are possibilities, and we can do stuff differently than we did on either front or the doors. So on this side we are very limited. On this side we have possibilities. Let me put the car to the side a little bit and let's explore a few things. Okay. Okay, camera. Oh yeah. Focus. Come on. Okay. 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 One of my ideas would be I again use light bluish gray parts because black is so hard to see on camera. So one possibility would be, I guess, to use this. I mean, the idea behind I don't have one here. The idea behind the original mechanism in the door is basically this, that I come in with my hook or whatever. I push it inside and then springs close it back, so I cannot go out. I'm trapped. I'm trapped unless someone releases springs and I can go out. That's basically the idea behind the door lock. Very simple. Here the problem is that the gear is here. Our friend the gear. Let's just recreate this. Our friend the gear is actually, if these two are the center, we have to recreate the situation. So our friend the gear is here. just gonna put a dummy down there. Hey, David. So, okay, this, read this, okay, this, so we can make our dummy axle. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so our gear is here. Exactly. Here is our gear. And if we use the same, this mechanism, no go. No go. But now, what if we use a similar mechanism then in the rear? Let's try that. Not the same, but something similar. So if we use, I'm just gonna put these in so I know where things are. So if we use this guy, well, we can move the gear half a stud to this side. That's no problem. It still engages, so that's not an issue. And this maybe, no, I don't know. So we need to make some hinge here just to test it out. Let's test it out if we have the freedom to do that. I'm gonna use just this, not gonna waste much time on engineering this. Yeah, so even half a stud removed, we don't have the freedom to do that. So we need to find another alternative, because the stud for our hood would come down here like this. Like this. That said, what if we do something entirely different? What if we do two studs? So not a central one, but two studs on each side, and these two would be mounted by a completely different mechanism that would go around this. A completely different mechanism that we may, I don't know, have not explored yet. That can disengage both of these simultaneously. And for this, I think we need to Google. I think I need to Google a little bit and see how the original mechanism works. Maybe we can learn something from this. So let's see. Dodge Charger hood lock 1968. Let's see. Oh my god, this is so fucking simple. No, this can't be it. Ah, okay. So yeah, basically it's the same as the trunk lock on the original car. It's the same as the trunk lock. Yeah, we are again in quite a pickle. We're again in quite a pickle, trying to make sense of locks. Problem is that we I mean, I would love to do the same kind of lock as in the rear, but there's just no way. There's no way we can do that. There's no way. We would need to redesign basically the whole front in order to move the gear somewhere else. I don't see it. I don't see how we would do that, because there's all of this here, the lights. I mean, even the mechanism that we have in place is kind of tight, tight like a tiger, and all of this works so well that I would rather, I don't know, not have a hood lock mechanism than this. Um, hmm. Okay, let's Google for some inspiration from other brands. Let's see, hood lock. How the fuck does a hood lock work? There's a stud. Yeah, there's a stud and there's a spring. Hmm. I mean, a few things that I see here. Yeah, it doesn't need to be in center, but it's nice for it to be in the center. It's really nice to be in the center. But we can have two. We can have two locks. Um, I've seen now a few things here on the internet that there's a few options. There's a few options for locking. Basically, it all comes down to this, that in modern cars, let's take modern cars as an example. Um, there's I don't know, there's, you know, a cone, something that goes in a hole, and on the other side of the hole is a spring, and so basically a latch, and the hole is conical and pushes the latch aside, and then the latch grabs the cone, and since the cone is flat on the top, it cannot pull the latch aside, and so if you want to unlock it, you must pull the trunk lock release. So the latch goes aside, and because of the spring that's mounted here, the hood opens. That's kind of how modern locks work. And this is relatively simple. We just need to find a cone. As a cone in Lego that cannot be pulled off an axle. That would be great. And if we can do that, making the mechanism itself is trivial. So, what kind of parts do we have? Let's see. Maybe there's something in the Bionicle box that could function as this. No, I mean this part. I always thought it could be useful, but it's just too bulky. It takes so much space. It's really not usable for anything. Yeah, the shape. I mean, we just need something conical that is not too big, that we can squeeze in there. I guess it can be even just round. Just round, just so it has the power to squeeze past the spring, past the latch, and then not come out. So, for example, oh, even this would be good if if it if this wouldn't happen. For example, if we have, let's say, this is the spring, it's half a stud offset, this comes down, pushes the spring aside, it travels up, suck. Spring latches it close. However, the problem is, of course, that this can happen. So we need something where this cannot happen. You think that an L-shaped lift arm would solve this? I don't know. I mean, if we had just this coming down, coming down, and how would we make the spring move? I mean the latch. How would we actuate, for example, a latch that would then spring back in? Maybe. Yeah, but this works both ways. That's the problem. It works both ways. It needs to be just one way. And if we do something stupid like this, I don't know, that we would use this hole. This is just too tight of it. For example, if we have a mechanism here that just slams this in, when you go down, I think that's a fit that's just too tight. Or is it? You know what I mean? You come down. Wait a second. So basically, we would have, I mean, this is way too elaborate, but we would have something that has a lever. you know. Where is it? Ah, come on. So this guy comes down. This is removed. This guy comes down, and the lever pushes it in. But this is too tight of a fit. This will never fit. Never work reliably. This is never gonna work reliably. Where do I have? Where do I have these? What about the mechanism involving this little guy? I've seen some mechanisms doing this. So basically, we would use this as the conical shape. See? So, let's say we have, I don't know, something coming down, pushing this aside. This goes in, and then it cannot go out. This can be fixed, so it cannot move. And then you open it. It can go out. This guy closes back again. But the problem is on Wednesday. Next stream will be on Wednesday, of course. As usual. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is my usual schedule. If there's some deviations for whatever reason, I announce it. I mean, this is a good start. We could even do like this. It comes down, then slams back in. It cannot escape. We open it with some mechanism. It goes up, and then this guy centers again. We open this, but the problem is if this comes to the center of the guy, it cannot push it down. So it needs to be like really on the side, like this. It slams. Yeah, that's the solution. So it cannot. This guy. Listen. Hey, Morty. So this guy has to be like in a wedge. In a wedge. As a default position, and then the latch is here. It just, you know, this is enough for it to grab. As long as this guy doesn't move, this is enough. And it will not move because the spring is gonna hold it where it is. And then we release it, and this can go out. Okay, and then it springs back just a little bit, and this holds back in. Maybe this can work. This can work, and this can be easily implemented. It's an extremely simple mechanism. This is just an axle. We have the axle going down until the bottom of the car, and then on the bottom of the car we have just, you know, on the axle we have something like this mounted, and you open the hood by just twisting this. By this you twist this, and this is open. No, we don't have. Yeah, we can make it, have it on either side, and then connect them. So just one lever operates both, We can do that. Or we can it centered. We can have this centered. So the gear, see, the gear would be here. This comes down just on the side of the gear. And it's centered. So it can be just one. It can be just one. Not two. Just one. I would prefer just one because it's simpler, less parts, everything. The simpler the better, you know. And this can be here, yes. Just on the side of this, or here. Either way. It cannot be. Can it be here? Yes. No. No, that's too high. So here, it can be here. So it just, yeah, but it has no room to pivot. It has no room to pivot if we do it like this. And it cannot be too far down. Ah, always those restrictions. And if we have it in the same level as here, then we cannot prevent this guy from popping open. This is always gonna pop open. I mean, it would be ideal. Yeah, here it would be ideal in this plane. Yep, that's good. That's good. That's good. So we can have our axle. Yep, our axle running here. Doesn't interfere with anything, which is good. Of course, it can then pivot here. No. We can use this guy to mount it on the bottom. Yeah. Yeah. No, the other way around. Yeah, like this. There we go. It can freely move in this direction. So from the top it would look like this. And then our friend comes down. Ah, yeah. Okay, it needs to be one stud further here. So our friend basically comes here, there. It clicks back in and it cannot escape. And now we twist this, it can escape. This is how we're gonna do it. So I think this is a pretty good idea. It's a bit more modern than in the original car, but it works. It works and it's fucking simple. Now we need to install our favorite tool, a favorite part, a rubber band. Hurts me, but I guess rubber bands are the norm. I mean, they're so simple, really. So we need to basically this needs to be the action, and we need to restrict its movement. We need to restrict its movement. Wait. So we need to restrict its movement outwards. So the rubber band. Okay. The rubber band is gonna spring it back here. What? Let's see. What is 44809? Yep. What is this? This is exactly what I'm using. I'm just now contemplating where the rubber band needs to act. So the rubber band needs to act. Basically, yeah, it needs to pull it out. Yeah, needs to pull it out. So the rubber band needs to do this, and it must act here. I have to Google every piece. I mean, some guys are just miracle. It's a miracle how people remember this. Okay, this would be a good idea. And then the rubber band basically attaches to this. Okay, yep. Well, we can attach the rubber band directly here. Why not? I think we have room. So, yep. This would go. Okay, so now we have some restrictions for our friend here. It needs to be in this position. It's not allowed to go further out. Let's see. Let's see how we do that. It can go in, it cannot go out. And this axle needs to rotate, so we are not allowed to touch it. We're not allowed to touch it. Okay, so let's remove this and remove this. Okay, and see what this does. And I would like there to be, rubber band attaches to this. And we have, we're gonna have a roller here because this guy is touching the roller. Let's see. Is this enough? This is enough. It cannot escape, no matter what it does. Now there we go. That's cool. And the roller is here so that when we open the window blinds, the headlight blinds, so that when the spring is pushing this towards the roller, the axle inside can rotate freely. So it's not affected by this. So our spring would act. Our spring, come on. Our spring would be here. I mean, our rubber band here, like that. Then it would attach here. And it can only move in this direction. Come on. And here on top we have a part like this. No, a part like this. So when this guy comes down, it prevents it from going to the other side, and then it slips in. But yeah, it slips in under ideal circumstances. But right now, this is too much. If we remove the roller, yeah. If we remove the roller, then it grabs just. So we need to lengthen this so the angle here is less steep. Okay, no problem. We have the room, I think. So we would do it like this. Here, well, I need to. I'll just move this fucker here because it's too far away anyway. So our roller is here, allowing this to rotate. Okay. There we go. You are here. And you are, oh my god, you know where it's such a little difference. So basically we need half a millimeter or so move it inside, otherwise this guy hits it on the peak and then it pushes it down rather than to the side. No problem. Ideally it would be in the middle. What can we do? And this can be anything, so this is not a problem. Since it can be anything, we can do this stunt. We can do it perhaps even better if we use this. We use this. See? Then the spring can mount on this directly. And we have, I don't know, this guy. We can have, for example, this. This is contacting the roller. And we would have this guy here. This may be good. So like this. Of course, we need to mount this differently, but just for now. Just for now. Let's see what happens now. Okay. Okay. We need a smaller one here. Maybe this one. No. One is too big, one is too small. Okay. No problem. Now we can adjust stuff. Now we can adjust things. So what if I move it a little bit to the front? I don't want a bush because things here are moving inside. See, the axle needs to move. The axle needs to move, and I don't want this to impact it. Otherwise, once the hood is closed, if I have a pin here, this will rub against the pin and make the opening of the headlight blinds difficult. Yep. This is it. Our trunk lock mechanism. That's all there is to it. So here, somewhere down below, we have, I don't know, this guy that we grab onto and, you know, open the hood, or it can point towards the front. You know, you do this and the hood opens. And on this side, we can have, you know, a tiny little spring or something that pops the hood open. Just, you know, just so when you release this, the hood pops open. We can have even the spring even in the hood, I think. No, but there's no room in the hood. Yeah, that's how we can do this. Yeah. Now let's check in the car. Check in the car what the size constraints are. So perfect. It's perfect. This is perfection. So without further ado, let's install it. For this, I'm just gonna take off the entire front clip because it's gonna make our life 1,000,000 times easier. And it's really no big deal since the front clip just clips on and that's it. Okay. So first we need to deal with this. Make it a little better. Just to have okay, you cannot see it, sorry. You cannot see it because it's kinda hidden. Okay, come on, focus. Okay, just so we know where we are. See, this guy will fit exactly to the bulkhead here, this guy, this connector here is gonna be where this is. So we need to make a shorter axle with a connector here. So this is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It needs to be an 8-stud axle. And I'm gonna use an 8-stud axle with stop, of course, so that when we push it here, this guy cannot push out very conveniently. Okay. What would you do? Oh, for a spring. I don't know. And here I'm gonna use one of these here. So this guy is here, and then we transfer this directly. I can use a gray one here. I can use a gray one just because it's easier to see. So now we put this on here like that. Come on, go in. Yeah, like that. So the axle going here is not going to be an, it's a, what, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I want, you know what I want, or I need this guy to be a friction pin, because or this guy here, because this is the way the headlights, the headlight blinds stay up by friction in this axle. If there's no friction in this axle, I just do this and they go down. So I don't want that. I want them to stay up. And for this, I can use, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna use this guy. The friction is gonna be here. So we're gonna do the simple trick of going like this with an axle pin into this and this. There. Now you can push this in its entirety. You go here. You go here. Okay. There we go. Why are you popping out? Oh, did I miscalculate? Where did I go wrong? Where did I miscalculate? Ah, so this guy needs to be further here. Everything needs to be 1 stud further here. So this has to be a 9er, not an 8. Yeah, that's the That's the error on my part. It has to be a 9er. Okay. I think, let's see, where is the center? Where is the center of this? Is here. Center is here. This goes, yeah, that's it. So an 8, a 9er, sorry. Nine stud axle. Oh, come on. That's enough friction to keep it up. Very nice. Yeah, that's going to be enough friction. Perfect. This also works. Now let's just mount it properly. I think if we wait a minute. Let's see if we have the room to mount anything there. Where is it? Here. Do we have the room? Yes, we have. There is room. There is room. So I'm gonna use this guy. Like this. No. The gear is not gonna slide because see, we're gonna have just like in our example here. We're gonna have something here, and for it to be really sturdy, I would like to have I'm gonna have this guy here. See the brick, and with the brick in place, the gear cannot move. Like this. Yep. This works. I would, however, like to have something here so that the gear cannot move in this direction. So I can just slide it in to adjust it with the headlights so it's in the correct position. Otherwise, we're gonna have just too many problems aligning this. You know, every time the front clip detaches, then this is gonna be misaligned. So just put this in here, or even better, let's have the gray ones. These pins. I always prefer the thin bushes to the big ones. Like this. There we go. That's the final position of the gear. Okay. Final thing before we attach the front clip. Um, Opening mechanism. Now that we have all of this, we have to engineer something to be able to open the hood with. So let's see the room that we have available to us. Okay. Wait, is this correct? Yeah, this is correct. Okay. There's not a lot of room available to us. What the fuck? Okay. We need to be a little bit inventive. Mm-hmm. Ideally, I don't know. Ideally, I would have a latch, a small something here. So just grab in, and this, and okay, okay. Let's solve this later. Come on. Okay. Okay, it's in. So our axle, the position of our axle is here. And of course we cannot change the suspension bridge. And I would prefer our latch mechanism to be here. I mean, mechanism, some a tongue or something, you know. If, for example, if come on, if something like this would stick out, that you could just grab. We know where it is, and we just grab underneath the bumper, just pull it to the side, and it opens the hood. And we can do that. We can we can totally do that. We can totally do that since we know how it needs to be done. Come on. Detach, please. There we go. So we are gonna extend this guy down as much as we can, and then go out with just something, you know. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. It needs a mounting point down below. Otherwise, this is gonna be a disaster. And the mounting point is gonna be here. See, just you cannot see it. My God, black is so hard to see. Just a connector. And now again, we need what? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's see what's the distance here. Oh, an 8 stud is. Oh, this time an 8 stud is perfect. Okay. Perfetto. Almost. almost perfect. There. Now we can engineer this contraption. So it's gonna stick out here. It's gonna stick out here at an angle, of course. And we're just gonna pull it like this, and it's gonna be just enough. Doesn't need much. So it needs what? 1, 2, 3. Will this be okay? That's 4. 4 is gonna go out a little bit more. That needs to stick out at least. Like this. We don't have much room, just 3 studs. So if it's here, yeah, it's on this side. It can be as close to this as possible, so we have room to pull it. Okay, you get what I mean. We extend this down, and this time we are gonna use these because it's easy. Okay, and for the last one, we're gonna use a connector. Connector like this. There. It's in. So we need to do this. Okay. And we have what? 1, 2, 3. If it was a 4, that would be easier. Yeah. We need to use a 4. And of course, I dumbass pulled it already so deep inside. Okay. This went better than expected. Okay. Now we need to remove this guy. Okay. Now, if my calculations are correct, and they very seldom are, this should do it. Let's check. Where did we go wrong? Not enough play. We would need just tiny bit more, I guess. Yeah, tiny bit more. So we cannot have a 4 here because the 4 is restricting movement, and this is both. So basically both are restricting movement. If it was a 3, yeah, a 3 would be just enough. But then we have a problem here. So a 3, then a 2, no. Such tiny space to engineer this. Man, what if we use... What could we use there? Too bulky again. Fuck this part. Such a useless part. Why you have to be so tight? Wait a minute. If we use 3, a 3 or a 2. I'm having conversations with myself, so it's getting worse. No, we're gonna have 3. We use this guy again. But this time we pair it with this. Oh, I already have them outside. So if we use this, then we have a 3 stud. So we would have theoretically enough free movement to do this, but then we have very little room for the lever. We would need to go 1 stud further out. 1 stud further out. We would be done here. But then how do we have something here? It would need to be very thin. This is driving me mad. No. Why put gears here in here if we can have just a simple lever? Don't complicate it with gears. There's no gears in the hood opening mechanism in a car. Why would we have it here? There's no need. Nah, I don't want to. I don't want it. This is so simple. It just needs just a smidge more. I just want a tiny bit more. I know how to kinda do this, but this is not kosher. See, in the old days, you had, you know, in the old days you had this. You had this, and then you had this. So you could basically have this be at any position on the axle. This would solve our problem, but I cannot use vintage Lego for this because it's just new ones. If this car was just for me, maybe, but we're not gonna use vintage Lego parts. I want this to work. It's just simple. It's so simple, but this movement is too tiny. It needs just a smidge more. Just a smidge more. You know, this would be just a little bit more. Oh. If this was straight instead of angled, that would be it. Doesn't need more. Half a stud. A quarter of a stud. We need quarter of a stud maybe. I mean, I would prefer half a stud, but quarter of a stud would be enough. We can use, I don't know, connectors. We could use connectors. But, oh, no, they don't help us either. Connectors wouldn't help. Okay, I know what we're gonna do. This is gonna help. See, we have here, we have this. So we are going to re-engineer this. Very simple. No, nothing fancy. Just gonna remove this guy. Gonna replace him with 2 half bushes, and problem solved. Then we have so much more freedom doing whatever we like. And it changes nothing in functionality, just, you know, it gives us a one stud groove instead of, so now we don't have to, we don't need to have a thin something here. We can have a one stud something here, and this frees up a lot of possibilities. A lot. So now we can have a 3 stud something here. Come on. There's no room here. My fingers. There we go. Yep. And now we can basically do this, I think. Yep. Let's see how viable this is from below. This is fine, but I would prefer this to be this, because you can grab this. You can grab this with your finger, with your fingertip. You can grab on this, and this is fine. Okay. Oh yes, that's it. That's it. That's our mechanism right there. Just grab beneath the bumper and open it. Very simple. Very simple. You can, it finger sits right in here. Hej, System Slav. Dober večer. Where are you from? So, all that we need now is for a spring mechanism that would spring our hood back up, so it would detach from the lock. So the lock is done. Let's see if the hood blinds work. Hood blinds work. Yep. Hood blinds work. Studia. Okay. Very good. Perfect. Perfect. Now we can put this back on. We can put this back on. And everybody can move on with their lives. There we go. So, we need to solve this one bit, so we can have the guide for the hood lock here. This is not such a big deal, but a spring, a sort of spring that kinda lifts the hood. That's what we need. How to do that? Well, basically we need just a small lever, just something that's gonna here push the hood open. So it's like this when it's open, and then the hood latch pushes it down, kinda, and the spring kinda forces it up. Let's see. Where would we put that? Well, it could be here and act. Wait a minute. What if we put it here? Oh, we can't. Okay, we can. As I thought it would act like as the guide at the same time, but no. Nope, cannot. I mean, it could like this, but the problem is where to position the spring, or in our case, the rubber band. Where would you position the rubber band? Because it needs to, pull it like this. But what if we don't use it like this? Come on. What if we actually we use this guy, mount this in the center, no, wrong box. Then we have our rubber band, and we have two ball joints. And we position this guy here. in the center. So it would act as a guide. The one point of the rubber band is here, so it pushes down, and one will be somewhere down there. I'm just gonna use, instead of a friction pin, I'm gonna use one of these, because, you know, reasons. We need to restrict the movement, of course, because that's just, we need just a little bit, not too much, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Oh, god damn it. You know, one door closes, one door opens, right? Otherwise, it's a good car. Let me show you the dilemma. So basically, if we want it to be here, you know, this is happening. So we need to constrict its movement here. It shouldn't go further down. And then we need to mount a rubber band here and a rubber band somewhere else. Or we do something different. This would be an option. Not the only option, but one of the options. I do see another option. I do see another option. Yeah, but we're not going to use that. Instead, we're going to use something better. See, doesn't need to be like this. Can be more interesting. More interesting and let's say more realistic. I don't know. What if we make it so that it would... Okay. I prematurely opened this. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Come on, okay. Let's put the car to the side. So, hear me out. What we can do. What we can do is basically we need it to go one side, one stud out. Okay. So in this case, we would have like this. Here on the bottom, we need this guy. So it moves one stud up and down. See? And then we have the rubber band that holds it up. Then this happens. Well, of course, we need to turn this around. So this is further down. And then we need to just see where to position this rubber band. That's all it takes. I mean, imagine, there's so much going on in this front clip. And just in this front. Incredible. I just want to see, okay, it doesn't, just want us to know that it doesn't poke out of the bottom. That would be unfortunate. And for this, I'm gonna use I would prefer to use a gray axle because I don't like the brown one looking out. Okay. Now let's see, where can we mount this? Okay. Come on. Maybe. Let's see. Isn't ideal, but I'm gonna give it a try. No, that's not a good position. So you can see here where it is. And now we need to, provide this with a spring. Okay. Now that I'm looking at it, we're gonna relocate this to a more realistic position. It's gonna be awesome. Of course, once more, the whole thing needs to come out. So our boy here, is gonna move to the center position because it can. Let me just check if this is okay. This is okay. But it's gonna be this guy. So we're gonna use this here. This is gonna be the low position for us. This. And this is gonna be the high position. So we have just this one start of movement, which is all that we need. We do clear the gear, and we just need to mount the rubber band, which is here. Yeah, just need to mount the rubber band. And mounting the rubber band is gonna be the fucking nightmare. Where do we mount the rubber band? You know, I wanted to put this guy here and then mount the rubber band to it, but no, doesn't feel right. We can do something with this probably. With this, and then if we yes, we can do this. I think. Yeah, it doesn't pull it up enough. But we can maybe do this. Ah. It's such a mess. But it does pull it up enough. Just a moment. The cat is wanting attention again. Yeah, problem solved. Just close some doors. Yeah, there is room for a shock absorber here, but I don't know what I would do with it. Just enough. I can't. I cannot turn it 90 degrees. See the problem? And this is okay. If I put a round axle connector on here, it should be fine. You know, just so that things don't rub against each other where they're not supposed to. Oh yeah. Yeah, so this, I hope that this is enough to open the hood, but I think it should be. But I want to do this a little bit better. Just a smidge, you know, just to add some value. Um, just a second. Okay. Yeah, of course I don't have any here. I'm gonna use this one for now. No, you're not supposed to be in here. There. Problem solved. This should be perfect. I mean, imagine this, our front clip has now more functionality than many Lego models. There's a lot of things going on. Okay. I think it's safe for us to install these back again. Okay. There we go. Testing if everything works. So this works. This also works. And this works. Perfect. The only thing remaining now is the latch. So, only thing we need to do now is to have this latch on to this. This, I hope this is going to be as simple as we imagined, but we'll see. We'll see. So first, we need this guy. This will prevent our tongue or whatever this is to be okay. We'll see how good this is. Where is my hood? Oh, here it is. Okay. So next challenge. Where is our latch supposed to be? Luckily, we have the ability to adjust this, of course, with the way with the pin that we put here. We can adjust this further out, so it should be fine. Okay, so our tongue needs to be here. No, it needs to be, wait. It's complicated. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna have to adjust things on the hood, so it needs to be half a stud to the front. Yeah, okay, it's here and here, but it needs to be like that. It needs to be half a stud offset. This is it, and in the center. Half a stud offset and in the center. And here. Okay. Fun. 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 Shit like this is always fun. So, here in the center, well, We've been there before. We have been there before. In the rear. So, like this. And like this. And we have no room, of course. So our pin needs to be okay. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Our pin is going to be this. Okay. So it can be half a stud like this. I'm just gonna eyeball it. Where's the front? The front is here. It needs to be the other way around. Okay. It needs to be here. Oh my god, the pin is almost in the center of the hood. Jesus. Okay. Thing is that we need to brace it on each side so it won't dip down when we close the hood. We're gonna brace it like this. I think. And it needs to be much here. Okay. So we have already mounting point 1, mounting point 2. I have no idea if this is going to work. But let's give it a try. It has some flex in it. I guess which we should be okay. Now we are more experienced and hardened from our experiences in the rear. Okay, take one. Take one. I'm just gonna force it a little bit, but yeah, no. Nah, I don't wanna. Also, this guy here needs to be replaced by a 4 stud. There we go. And we need to go half a stud further to the back of this. So I'm going to use right now. I'm just going to use this. Just want to see if this actually fits in it. Okay. Take 2. If I turn this around correctly, this will be fine. Take 3. Okay, the opening works. That's fine. But where did we go missing here? God, really. Wow. What the fuck? I have to remove the wheel because I can see shit. I don't even see what's going on inside. If it's latching or... Okay, it needs to go further down. The latch itself needs to be further in. Okay. So we need to go half a stud with the hood latch. We need to go, of course, half a stud down. So this guy here needs to be half a stud further down, and the latch here needs to come further out. This pesky adjustments. Okay. I don't think we are going to remove the wheel, so okay. Yeah. Always this. So we need to adjust this again. This time I'm gonna put in the smaller one. There we go. So it's a little bit further out. Okay. Now to the harder part. How do we raise this? I mean, raise. How do we have this a little bit further out? Half a stud, basically. Half a stud. I mean, all of this is actually very difficult stuff. You know, when you see it done, yeah, of course, that's logical. But the thinking behind why it's done like this, that's interesting. So how do we move this guy half a stud up from this perspective? That's the $1,000,000 question. Without this being like gigantic. Okay, we're gonna just try some simple things. Just so that we okay. Basically, I just want to know where the position is right now. I don't care. I I'm not gonna care about whether this is bulky or I don't know. Doesn't matter. Mm, just wanna know where to position it. Okay, that's good enough, I guess. Huh. Okay. Of course. It's too far out. I don't know. Let's try it. Wait, what? That was too far out, and this is. My God. Really? I didn't move it that much. Why? It's in the fucking same position. 1, 2. How? Hmm. Take, I don't know. Yeah, because the engine is so far back, it's gonna be. There is room for the engine, don't worry. Okay, take something. Mm-hmm. Oh, now he's not happy. No, he's just not happy. There's just a small margin. Hmm. Jesus. What started with so elegantly turns out to be not so elegant. It's just a mess. He doesn't want to go down. Of course he doesn't want to go down, and if I move this a little bit, so he can now squeeze past it. See, it doesn't even latch. Doesn't even latch. I'm so angry right now. We wasted an entire stream, so this motherfucker doesn't even latch. And if here it doesn't go, it doesn't want to go past it. If I allow it to go past, it goes past, but it doesn't latch. So I have to manually kind of twist it. So here it latches now. Here the gentleman finally decides, yeah, I'm gonna latch here. God. Hmm. Okay, so this is solvable. This is solvable, but we need, need different. Yeah, we need here. We need a few different things because the movement of the hood Okay, let's try one more thing. I just want to see what happens here. Just for shits and giggles. This is not me being serious. I just want to see if we get some results. Okay. Let's see what our original proposal does. No. This is even worse. See, this is just atrocious. I mean, it's catching here now, but this is a joke. It's just a joke. I don't know. It would be a perfect solution if this would latch, but it doesn't. So we need to rethink this a little bit. I'm gonna disassemble the car. I mean, disassemble. I'm gonna take this part of the car off stream, of course, the wheel off, and then I'll start with the latch first, and see where the position is, what our options are, and then we'll see. This is driving me mad. Would be so, this would be so nice if it would work. So nice, but no. Well, the tongue isn't shaped right. That's true. If it had, if it had a slope here, that would help. Um, but the problem is that everything here is just wibbly wobbly. That's one of the problems. I, at the moment, I don't know how to make it less wobbly without being like huge. We don't have many mounting options, of course. Um, when it's down, see when it's down. Yeah, there's no real mounting options. That's the problem. What kind of a truck? Everything can be done. And you know what's gonna happen to the slopes? The slopes are just going to fall off. They will, because when you go down, they won't fall off. But the moment you try to open the hood, they're gonna fall off, and the hood is gonna open. Okay. Oh, we are going to make it work. Don't worry. It is gonna work. The question is just how. pulling the tooth back is not really the problem. I mean, so far we have overcome every challenge that the car threw at us. This one will be dealt with as well. It's just a matter of time. Oh, come on. Yeah. I mean, the hood is sloped, and when the hood is sloped, the tongue also goes in. This is not a problem in the rear, despite the rear being slightly more sloped because the mechanism there is different. But our mechanism here doesn't like it to be sloped. Doesn't like it because this guy here, once the hood is closed, you know, it's not lying square, but it goes like this. And then when it goes like this, it doesn't latch here. I don't know. I mean, the rear is, you know, I'll show you the rear. See, the rear is not really. I mean, it's solid. Yeah, it's pretty solid. But I want this kind of simplicity. See how nicely it closes. This is a mechanism that one can be proud of. Yeah, that was my next idea. Um, Basically using these connectors. But I would ideally want a fiber. Let's see. Do I have a fiber? Yeah. So if I do connectors, how do I, okay. I mean, this is just gonna be a test fitting. Okay, we're gonna do it like this. Okay. Mm. It needs to be on the other side. Well, it cannot be worse. That's pretty much sure. Cannot be worse than this. And we can use now both here. I mean, it's the center of the hood, but you know, there's not much choice. So we would mount this guy here. We would mount him here in the middle, and then we'll see. Mm. Mm. So come on! I really have to look so hard for connectors. Okay. Just a test. Okay. Well, first of all, this needs to be half a stud further out. That's the first thing that needs to happen. what if we use a 3 or a 4 instead of a 5? Let's use a 4. Let's use a 4. I mean, something is gonna be right. You know, it has to be. Well, let's see where we're at. Looked good on paper. Yeah. Doesn't even clear. Okay. Yeah. No, that's not good. As much as I hate to say it, we need a different kind of mechanism. Sadly. It's the end of the stream anyway. It's late. I'm gonna think about what we could do with this. If any of you has any ideas what we could do as a mechanism here, please let me know. You know the drill. Check out all my social media, Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, whatever. You know, especially Patreon. Lego isn't cheap. And yeah, any ideas, please let me know. And I see you on Wednesday, hopefully with a finished mechanism.